Hello and welcome to the Stories of Northern Life from the Sault Ste. Marie Museum. It is the first full week of September, and that means our summer has come to an end and the new school year starts. I'm going to take you back in time to the first day at the School of the Eagle, dressed in green and gold, Sir James Dunn. Sir James Dunn was located at 1601 Wellington Street East, between Trunk Road and Queen Street East, just north of Anna McCrae Public School and Algoma University. It was built in 1956 with additions added in 1961, 1965, and in 1968. The school's doors officially opened in 1967. If it was your first day back at Sir James Dunn, you probably just graduated from Alex Murr, Anna McCrae, Ben R. McMillan, Eastview, Queen Elizabeth, Riverview, or Rosedale for elementary school. And you have chosen to study at the Dunn because of its community for leading music, arts, and athletics programs, having won many local sports championships and arts and music competitions. Maybe you are interested in French immersion. Or you just went to one of the elementary schools I just listed, and it was close to your home. Nonetheless, Sir James Dunn was a fine school. But who was Sir James Dunn, and why was the school named after this guy? Well, he was a Canadian stockbroker and industrialist during the first half of the 20th century. He played an important role as the president of the Algoma steel plant. He was a big fan of Francis H. Clergue and followed his expansionist example. Sir James wanted to keep Clergue's vision alive and become a reality. He grew and grew Algoma steel and dabbled in expansions of other industries. Despite what others thought, he did what he thought was best for the company, and most of the time he was successful. He got this community through the Second World War successfully and continued the success directly after the war, which was not an easy task. He invested in the company, not receiving a salary, but only holding the majority of the shareholdings and stocks, meaning if he did well for the company, it will pay off in the end, and that it did. He died with a personal fortune valued at $66 million. He always directed that no dividends were to be paid because all profits were to be put back into the company. He also invested in the community. He offered many jobs and did his best to sustain them over the years. We also got our community bus system because Sir James sought a need for effective and efficient transportation for laborers to the steel plant. He, as well as his last wife, Lady Dunn, were awarded with the Freedom of the City by the City of Sault Ste. Marie. They were given a key, and engraved was the city crest and motto, Industry, Integrity, and Intelligence. With remarks from Mayor Brayan, the key unlocks you to the gratitude of the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie for what you have done to assure them a livelihood and a security in making this place on where they may invest their savings and raise and educate their children without fear of uncertainty. And that's why it was named after him. He was an important man keeping the livelihood of the community intact. Now back to the school, Sir James Dunn. The Dunn had a star-studded alumni, including Wayne Gretzky, who played for the Greyhounds at age 16. It was with the Greyhounds that Gretzky first wore his number 99 on his jersey. He later became one of the world's greatest hockey players. Roberta Bondar, who was the first female astronaut in space, second Canadian, and the first neurologist. She was Sir James Dunn's 1963 Sports Woman of the Year, and also received the Dunn's Girls Athletic Association Leadership Award in 1964. The gym at the school was actually named after her, along with many other places and buildings in Sault Ste. Marie and Canada. And the band Treble Charger was formed at Sir James Dunn by students Greg Norrie, Bill Priddle, Rosie Martin, and Richard Milligan. Between 1966 and 2016, Treble Charger was among the top 150 selling Canadian artists in Canada, with a platinum and 2 gold albums. There were a lot of activities at the school, especially in the arts, that transcended into careers or just great opportunities. Dunn Plugged was one of these impactful initiatives. It was a concert performed by students in the school theater during lunch hour. Performances ranged from bands to instrumentalists to acoustic performances and more. The proceeds from the performances allowed the school to record a full CD with original music written by students. Notable bands from Dunn Plugged's past includes the Chuck Hierman Experience, the Teen Agents, Fabio, Brian Truel, Cal Matston, Cookies for Breakfast, Lanky, Candy Street Avenue, Renderwear, as well as the Kiss tribute band Creatures of the Night. Some of these artists are still making music to this day, like Cal Matston, with over 6,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. In fall 2010, Sir James Dunn and Boateng were combined at the Dunn's location for 1 year, as a new facility was built on the property of Boateng. In 2011, Superior Heights Collegiate and Vocational School opened, and Sir James Dunn and Boateng were no longer in use. The Dunn was demolished in 2016, and now the property is just a vacant field with no evidence of the past, no physical trace of the stories and memories and opportunities. But just before the school was demolished, Sir James Dunn Collegiate and Vocational School was the primary location for the filming of a movie called The Void. It's a horror indie film, and I definitely recommend watching it, especially if you were once a student of the Dunn. And lucky for you, you can watch the movie on Amazon Video. I hope you learned something new about the Sir James Dunn Collegiate and Vocational School. And even if you didn't, you got to relive some old memories. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next week at the Stories of Northern Life podcast.